Welcome to the new YouTube channel. If you haven't already done it, hit the subscribe button to follow us all season long for updates and content. So happy that you're here. It's going to be a great year. But you know who else played well, Mitchell? The San Francisco 49ers. Mitchell, they look good.
Richard, they look good against the LA Rams. And I think the bigger question here is, how good are the LA Rams? Because they only lost by 7. And Puka Nacua, 15 receptions, Rich. Broke an NFL record, the most receptions in the first 2 games of a player's NFL career. I mean, I know Matt Stafford's back. And the Rams just dusted the Seattle Seahawks. They gave, let's not lie here, Rich. They gave the 49ers some trouble. You know, I know the Niners won this game, but come on now. Are the Rams a legitimate contender in this NFC West right now, Rich?
Mitchell, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Tombstone, Mitchell. But right now, they out there like Doc Holliday. And they your Huckleberry, Mitchell. Nobody wants to see them. Matt Stafford, without expectations, without pressure of all these, hey, you got to win a Super Bowl or it's a disappointment. They don't have all that. They got a bunch of young kids. They got really talented players, but they're young, inexperienced. Nobody expects a lot. People are saying they have a bottom 5 roster. Sean McVay is coaching his behind off. Raheem Morris is coaching his behind off because they didn't quit. They didn't give up, and they are going to give everybody hell this year, Mitchell. Brock Purdy still played a pretty efficient game, 17 of 25 for 206, didn't turn the ball over, didn't throw a touchdown. They thought about giving that touchdown to Debo. It's like a swing screen, but it ended up being a rush for Debo, who rushed the ball 5 times for 38 yards and a touchdown, 6 receptions, 63 yards and a touchdown. But that boy CMC, Mitchell, was getting the job done. Huge runs all game, 116 yards, a touchdown, 3 catches for 19 yards. Brandon Ayuk was having a solid game, got a little banged up in the game, so we gotta monitor that. But that defense, they had times where they struggled and had some issues that they were going to want to clean up. But in the second half, they gave up 6 points. Diamador Lenore got his hands on the football this week. Isaiah Oliver, who's been the nickelback, he played in this nickelback last week a little bit, I think, in the second half, and got the start today at nickelback. Played really well. Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner, I mean, 2 of the best linebackers in football. I'm going to keep saying it. 11 and 12 tackles for him. Fred got him a sack. But like you said, Puka Nacua, I mean, what a revelation.
They happen every year, Rich. A 5th-round pick. I don't know another 5th-round pick that's been worth a damn, quite frankly.
You're right. Frankly.
Quite frankly, Rich, I don't know one. I can't think another one. But
they don't come around often, Mitchell.
Well, hey, Puka Nacua, the waiver wire. If he's still on your fantasy free agency list, you might want to pick him up. Richard, San Francisco was your number 1 team in the power ranks. Mm-hmm. Number 2 was the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys showed out against, I know you like Robert Saleh and the Jets, the Jets. Jets, but golly, 30-10, Rich. I mean, is this more to speak about the Aaron Rodgers injury, or is Dallas for real? For real, Rich?
I mean, I put them at 2 in my power rankings, 2, not just 2 in their division, not 2 in that 2 in the power rankings overall.
I know it pained you, Rich.
They are for real. They'll drop to 3 this week because I think the Eagles are better. But they're at 2 in my power rankings, Mitchell, because they are for real. They're a good team. But if they sure are glad they were playing Zach Wilson and not Aaron Rodgers, who takes them behind the woodshed and has his way with them every time he plays them. So you got to give them credit. They played well. They have one of the best players in National Football League, and Micah Parsons. He played well, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, a menace, 4 quarterback hits. I mean, his impact is never really measured on the stat sheet. You look on the tape, and he's really everywhere. He's hitting everything. He's causing disruptions. He's causing sacks for other people. Garrett Wilson did everything he could. He could only get his hands on 2 footballs, and one of them he took 68 yards for a touchdown. They're doing everything they can, but with Zach Wilson, 12 for 27, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, it's going to be hard to win football games, Mitchell. He gave one to everybody. Javon Curse, Malik Hooker, Trayvon Diggs, of course, is going to get him one. CD Lamb had a pretty good game. Dak Prescott had a good game against a really good defense. So you got to give them credit.
Wow.
They played well. But when you get 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery, Mitchell, you're going to have a pretty good game.
Let's talk about Dak Prescott, Rich. We got our sponsor, a new sponsor last week, which we introduced, Morgan & Morgan. And now it's time for their segment, Making It Look Easy Player of the Week. We're going to give it to Dak Prescott. And this is well-earned, Rich. The Jets, their secondary, their front four, Rich, they're daunted. And for them to put up 30 points against the Jets, Dak Prescott made it look easy. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. This week, Dak Prescott made it look really easy, Rich, out there against the Jets, going for 31-38 for 255 and 2 tutties with no interceptions. Richard, has Dak Prescott proved anything to you? I know you love that Jets defense. Come on now. Is this a rebound game for him? I know they won 40-0 last week, but golly, man, he responded pretty well. What do you think of Dak?
He looked good, Mitchell. I've never had a problem with Dak. I think he looked much better in this game than he did the first game, and that is a really good defense. Aaron Rodgers is out, but that defense is still out there, and they still have all their pieces. A lot of really talented defense. He was still very efficient. Didn't throw an interception, managed the game well, hit his go-to guy in CD Lamb, who had 11 catches for 143. Managed the game really well. The Jets did not. I think Dak Prescott is legitimate. I'm sure on the other show, Skip is going to, if he's not already having, I'm sure he's over there having a glass of wine. I'm sure you're looking forward to
tomorrow morning, man.
Oh, my gosh.
You already know what's coming, man. But, Richard, Dak Prescott earned it this week. This has been Making It Look Easy, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Go to forthepeople.com/Sherman or dial #law, #529. Winning in the NFL is hard, Richard. You know that. But hiring a Morgan & Morgan is super easy. We appreciate our sponsors here on the Richard Sherman Podcast.
Reminder, every episode of this podcast premieres live on AMP. So download the app, subscribe to me at Richard Sherman to tune in to all of our shows live.